Hey guys, welcome back to Two Dudes Talking. Today we're going to be discussing one of my favorite directors and a lot of his films, Mr. Ron Howard.
Welcome to Two Dudes Talking.
Welcome to Two Dudes Talking.
Hello, Will.
Hello, Josh. So yeah, dude, thanks for letting us do this episode because I love Ron Howard.
For sure.
I know you like a lot of his films too. Mm-hmm.
I sound very agreeable, but I like Ron Howard a lot. I'm very excited about this. Let me be real.
He's like, I'm just an agreeable guy right now.
He's a happy boy.
He's a happy boy. So no, I actually love a lot of his films. I couldn't care less about Andy Griffith's Show.
Right.
Couldn't. You know.
So before
Happy Days I love too. I actually like Happy Days as like a watching it at Nick and Night as a young lad.
So my dad was born in 1941. I may have seen a little bit more of the Andy Griffith Show.
Well, my mom watches it daily.
Word.
Reruns daily. Yeah.
So I did watch it a good deal growing up. But yeah. Ron Howard is not from the Andy Griffith Show for me.
Yeah. So I want to start off this episode a little bit with, I'm just going to list off films that he's done. And these are not in any order. These are just films he's done. So A Beautiful Mind, Apollo 13, The DaVinci Code, Solo, A Star Wars Story, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Splash, Angels and Demons, the DaVinci Code sequel.
Right.
Cocoon.
Great movie.
Willow. Inferno.
Yeah.
Wow. Haven't seen that one yet. Rush. Love Rush.
Still haven't seen that one.
So good. Cinderella Man. Ooh. Frost Nixon, which I love. In the Heart of the Sea.
Great.
Far and Away. Mm-hmm. And tons more. Like, there's a lot of stuff that he's been credited for writing, producing, starring in, all kinds of stuff.
Are there any other standout roles or movies or shows that, not looking at it, that are just some of your favorite things? Like, what are some of your favorite Ron Howard things?
So my top 3 Ron Howard movies are definitely A Beautiful Mind, Cinderella Man, and Apollo 13. And then, you know, a close 4th and 5th, definitely In the Heart of the Sea. Mm-hmm. And then Rush. Like, Rush is so good. So good. Solo. I love Solo.
Good.
From A Star Wars Story. But no, so to me, as a younger filmmaker in film school like 10 years ago,
right,
you know, you kind of pick these directors that you like and you're kind of mimicking and doing stuff like based on them, and he was just a big influence to me personally.
How so? Like, what would you say your earliest appreciation for him? Like, what was your thing? Was Apollo 13? I know you're huge with space, but
yeah, Apollo 13 was probably the first introduction of like, oh, that's a Ron Howard movie,
right?
You know, like definitely the first, you know, introduction,
right?
That was like, dang, this is awesome. But what I think I like about him is like he's so American. You know, just this Americana type. You know, he grew up in the old television show business, and then he kind of getting, you know, but like the movies, I just love dramas. Yeah. Like, and he picks great casts. You know, he picks good scripts to direct. You know, he has great moments. I mean, it's like the man can almost
it can almost what?
Yeah, can almost do no wrong to me.
The Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower. So he produced The Dark Tower, ladies and gentlemen, and apparently that's an awful show or movie. Movie. Yeah. See, I haven't seen it. Who was in it?
Idris Elba, Matthew McConaughey.
Right.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a banger.
No, I saw that. I was hoping that it would come out. We'll get to that at some point.
But I mean, for real, like that cast would be like.
It would have been it could have been a very good thing, except for it's like 7.5 books now. They
do you know who directed it?
I don't. I'll look it. I will.
Yeah, I need to see who that. Yeah, but Yeah, there's a lot of older stuff that he's produced that I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love his films. I love them. I think if I had to pick his best, like he's had some that have won Best Picture. Probably A Beautiful Mind would be his best.
Great movie.
Like we've talked about in Braveheart versus Gladiator a few episodes ago, that like Russell Crowe was just on a
bender
for
smashing.
Yeah, just like from 99 to 2009, he was
hulking the heck out.
Just great. But, you know, in A Beautiful Mind, that's like peak Ron, peak Russell, just great stuff. Paul Bettany, his relationship with Paul Bettany and how many movies. He was in A Beautiful Mind, both DaVinci Codes. No, just the one DaVinci Code.
The first one. Right?
The first one, and then Solo.
Right.
You know, just like I love when directors and actors have that relationship. Yeah. Like
Scorsese
and De Niro, Scorsese and Leonardo.
Pesci.
Yeah. David Fincher and Brad Pitt.
Right.
You know, all kinds of stuff like that.
And
Tom Hanks. I mean, Ron Howard with Tom Hanks. You know,
yeah.
So, boom. But yeah, I mean, is there, so like, you know my love for him.
Right.
Is there standout movies that you have?
In the Heart of the Sea.
Yeah.
For sure. All the Russell Crowe films.
Yeah.
I'm just going to call them the Russell Crowe films.
Yeah.
But at the same time as Cinderella Man, there was also Far and Away.
Yeah, bro.
The Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman story of the Irish. You see the red. You know, I think that was just a really neat time for somebody to do a movie about. Like you got Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
Great movie about the Irish's introduction into America. Like how wild would that be? And then literally just coming out here and just racing for it against everybody else. Like what a cool story. And at the same time, like the country was going through so much and had nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, taking the privileged and removing that from them is something I think he does very well with Cinderella Man, Far and Away. But I'm going to be real. Aside from Russell Crowe, I'd probably say In the Heart of the Sea is my favorite. It's one of my favorite recents. The cinematography on that movie is insane. And I know there's a lot of CGI in that. I know there's a ton of CGI in that movie, but it captured... I got anxiety when I saw them get out on the little paddle boats and go try whaling in like a school of these giant monsters.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to Monsters of the Deep, legitimately, we're going in your house very prepared, and we're going to try and take you fat.
Yeah.
You know, like I just, oh my gosh, it made me feel so small.
Yeah.
You know, and I can appreciate that.
That movie messed me up.
It's wild. It's a great movie. So this is, again, this is the retelling of the story of Moby Dick. So, I mean, if you haven't seen that one, it's Chris Hemsworth, Brendan Gleeson. There's a couple of other Spider-Man, the kid that played Spider-Man.
Yeah, Tom.
Something or other.
Tom, what's
Tom,
his
Mr.
name?
British kid.
Yeah.
Was in it as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Great movie about, again,
Is Cillian Murphy in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
He's dope.
He's great. He
gets messed up in that movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's a phenomenal movie. Check it out.
It'll mess you up, man.
It'll mess you up. If you just go into prepared. I mean, again, that movie made me feel small. And I'm a very confident, very boisterous, very comfortable in my skin person.
Yeah.
Like, y'all see me throw my legs around here. I don't care if you see a little bit more of my thigh. Like, I'm comfortable in my world. And that movie it captivated me and took me out of it for a minute.
Yeah.
When I saw it on the theater screen, I was like...
See, that would have been an experience. I didn't see it. I didn't see it till like 2 years ago.
Right.
And I didn't know it was a Ron Howard film until...
that was the first thing.
I went and watched it. I was like, why didn't you guys tell me this is a Ron Howard film? I totally
I remember you griping about that particularly after the fact.
That's all you had to say. Yeah. It's a Ron Howard film. Now that movie is great because it is like, it's like, what would you do in that situation?
I wouldn't be on that little rowboat.
Yeah, this is what.
There's no way.
These are the things you'd have to do.
Yeah,
Let me ask you this, and this is maybe a spoiler to people that haven't seen it.
Okay.
Would you have stayed on the island or would you have gone home?
I would have gone home.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Staying on the island would have been
the end.
I totally could see why.
Yeah, but that would have been the end of that story.
That would have been
So absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been.
But that whale.
That would have been a nightmare.
That whale was after him. after
He was
them.
hungry. He was
He
hungry.
was hungry. I don't know if whales eat people like that, but
Oh, that one probably would.
he was definitely just
He was
wrecking their.
upset. He was upset.
Yeah.
He was
Rightfully
miffed.
so.
Right.
No, it's a great movie. And Chris Hemsworth. So Chris Hemsworth has been in
Rush.
that, and then his Rush. So I love how when directors again do that, they're just like,
And he's vibing hard in Hollywood these days.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth is moved into one of my
He's a star.
top 5 list
Yeah.
of male female actors.
Yep.
Actresses, whatnot.
he is a definite star. Yeah, Cinderella Man, dude. That is a movie that Ron Howard. To me, like, okay, so it didn't win Best Picture.
Right.
I don't think it did.
Okay.
Maybe did. It's 2005. I don't think it did. But if it didn't, I think it's better than A Beautiful Mind. Still, it has Russell Crowe, who
Right.
does a great job acting. Who,
Some of those boxing scenes were great.
and
Yeah.
was it Renee Zellweger?
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god,
love her. I love her too.
she's badass, dude.
She is a phenomenal actress, dude.
But that movie has one of my favorite composers. It is Thomas Newman.
Okay. Give me some other work.
Revolutionary Road, Finding Nemo.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Meet Joe Black. Yeah, he does a lot of good stuff.
That's a good
Road to Perdition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got it.
So he does a ton of good stuff. But like, there's just some moments in that movie that are just like he's talking about he's teaching his boy not to steal in the Great Depression.
Which is I can only imagine.
Yeah, he's trying to get work on the docks,
Busted up.
but he's got that broke hand.
Right.
But he's not letting it stop him. Stuff
Right.
Like
I
that.
mean
Yeah.
it's a good story.
It's just like you're down and out, but you come back. You know
Yep.
what I mean? It's a great story. My dad loves the DaVinci Code.
Yeah, that's
Loves
I have not seen the complete series.
Yeah, I haven't seen
The last one.
I have not seen the third one,
Right. Same.
and if I have seen the second one, it's only been once.
Same.
You know,
Loved the first one.
first one's
I
great.
did. I love Tom Hanks.
I just don't get into those types of movies too much. But yeah, the first one's great. Ian McKellen kills it. He's just so awesome in it.
He's killer.
Yeah. Paul Bettany again.
Yeah.
That has one of the best endings with Tom Hanks narrating it. It's just like
So we should probably go back and watch the rest of that series
it's just
sometime.
yeah.
That's
yeah. I want to say like probably the second or third one aren't as good
yeah.
because that's just how it goes
Expected.
usually.
Yeah.
I know nothing about the books. I know the books are
I
great.
have them all, but I haven't finished the series.
Yeah. Far and Away. Far and Away. I remember we watched that in
It's cool.
some history class,
Yeah,
or
someone-
whatever. You know,
Right.
maybe even an English class.
Right.
But yeah, that land grab.
Right. Such
know.
a crazy.
Yeah, awesome. But there's this amazing shot. It's like, you got this like, the Irish were looked down upon, even as white people. Like,
Indentured servants
yeah,
is what they were.
yeah,
Period.
they were just looked down upon as they were the lowest of the white people,
Right.
Basically, in so many terms in America, and so they're going out, west to look at. There's this big land grab. It's in Oklahoma, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This movie particularly, but all these acres are just up, and then you just race out there, and it's like anything goes.
Whoever gets there first and sets up
Yeah,
gets it.
You claim it, got it, and it's like
Nicole Kidman's like the upper crust of
yeah,
English society or
Yeah.
something. Is that where she come from?
but she's
Or
also,
was she
Irish. She's just
Irish.
well
Okay.
to do.
Right.
you know.
So upper crust Irish comes with this like scallywag Tom Cruise.
Yeah. But he's just getting his ass kicked the whole film.
Yeah.
And like he finally gets out there and he claims that land in that
Mm-hmm.
race. And it's just such a hard thing for him to get.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a shot, is like as soon as he puts the stake in there, he's just like laying on the grass, just
Right.
breathing hard. And it's just like this this bird's eye view of him.
Right.
And it's just like, yes.
Yo, that and when they first took off, like when everybody took off going
Yeah.
out west, like that, those were both
Yeah.
just huge.
And all the carriages and all that.
Right.
Yeah,
It's just wild. So hard to believe that not only that happened on this planet,
yeah.
but in this country, just not that long ago.
Yeah. And that it was essentially stolen
Right. Yeah. I mean,
years before.
it's crazy. And no, it's just, that was just such a foreign concept to me. Like this couldn't have happened here.
Yeah, I mean, think about present day society. Some block of land that is like, let's just say Canada, like with all of their territory that's unused.
Right.
We're just like, yeah, this 4,000 square miles is up for grabs.
Right. Come find your square
I
mile.
mean, it would be like, what?
In a heartbeat.
Yeah. So that's a great movie for a lot of reasons. Apollo 13, technology in 1995.
You take this is your
It's
house.
just so good, dude. I mean, so yeah, being obsessed with NASA, being obsessed with the space program, obviously the lunar missions.
I still have my coins from Apollo 13 from McDonald's when it was released.
No, you don't. Wow.
Bruh.
Dang, that's dope. Phenomenal cast. Tom Hanks,
Right.
Gary Sinise? Yeah, Sinise.
Gary Sinise for sure.
And Bill Paxton.
Right.
And a handful of others. What's his name? The guy that's in A Beautiful Mind. The older guy that's
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris, yep.
Yeah.
Wow, Ron B bringing him back.
Hard.
They don't care.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
Which is dope. But
Those guys,
phenomenal cast.
just all of them are iconic people. Ed Harris right now, still.
Yeah.
I just finished watching Westworld for the first
Yeah.
time, and that dude slayed that
Dope.
show.
Dope.
So yeah, it's
Dope. He's dope in A
guys
Beautiful Mind.
peaking.
Yeah.
So again,
But yeah, so in 1995, I guess they're filming it in 94.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're shooting scenes in anti-gravity chambers and doing all kinds of dope stuff.
groundbreaking stuff. At the time.
Some of the stuff is a little dated now, like some of the shots of the moon and some of the shots of outside the spacecraft and stuff. But
Right.
that is to be expected. But phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
And that is pretty historically accurate.
Right.
You know, like
Tom Hanks is cool. I like that Tom
yeah.
Hanks is pretty
he's Jim
meticulous about that.
Jim Lovell, who is one of the Jim Lovell had went up on one of the Apollo missions earlier, and he had already been around the moon. But Apollo 13 was his first mission that he was going to get to land.
Right.
And he was like, this is dope. And obviously, everything goes wrong.
Right.
Doesn't get to come back.
I love it when
Phenomenal movie.
This is one of the things about movies in general. So, like, I know we could be talking about politics, sports. We could be talking about how to build a house. One of the things that I really enjoy about movies is they can take not only proud or happy moments in our history, but they can absolutely celebrate that situation.
Yeah.
Or like Flight 93 after 9/11.
Right.
There's,
Yeah.
you can just capture these somber moments of history and, and I hate to say it this way, but like manipulate them into happier things or more celebratable things.
Right.
Which is what you want to do. I love the idea that 50 years from now, after whatever else happens, some kid can come up and stream Apollo 13 and maybe take a huge interest into NASA or into American history or world history or something from that.
Yeah.
So they're very, very powerful tools in a way.
For sure. Yeah. I think I guess that's one reason why I like him a lot. Like Ron is he seems to deep dive into those more interesting dramas. He does these historically, these depictions. Rush is based on the true story.
Right.
That's an amazing movie. The editing of that movie, the cinematography in Rush is so good, and
I need to watch it.
the
I love
editing
Chris
is
Hemsworth.
so good, dude. So good. I love Solo. Solo was like, so there's a huge debate like within Star Wars, like the last three movies just suck. The last three of the
last installation
episodes, just not that good. Great things about them, tons of great things, but like
Adam Driver, for example.
Yeah, Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley's great,
right?
And John Boyega's great,
right?
He's amazing. He's going to be in some dope stuff, like just coming up. Like he's going to be, he's going to be dope. But yeah, those movies are just awful. But Solo being a side story, Han Roward. But Ron Howard got that film after the original directors were fired.
Right.
They brought him in later. So it was like, okay, this could be different. They kind of.
Do you know roughly at what point in production they were at?
They were shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had already been shooting. I couldn't tell you why they got fired. I think that just a script or just
Right.
kind of a direction issues.
Right.
But yeah, I love Solo.
Yeah.
And they marketed that movie so bad.
They did. That was
Like the trailer came out 2 months before it came out.
yeah, and at the same time, like, it's not its fault that the last trilogy wasn't as good as the rest.
Yeah,
so I enjoyed it. I did.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was not my it's not my favorite, but
Yeah.
it was definitely better than
Yeah, it's
some of the
nowhere
other
near
stuff.
Ron Howard's best movie by
right,
far.
right. What would you say Ron Howard's personal best movie or your favorite? Not necessarily even the best. What's your favorite?
Damn, Cinderella Man.
Cinderella Man.
Yeah,
If
that's good.
it is. Same. I mean, I don't know. I think
Paul Giamatti's in that,
Paul Giamatti's great.
and he's just
dope.
a badass.
He is. I like his character too. When they go to his and his wife's place, and they're sitting in the empty rooms, like people are struggling so hard right now in so many ways.
Yeah.
And like this doesn't discredit anything that we're going through. Like
Yeah,
not at all. But that's again with Far and Away, Cinderella Man, even A Beautiful Mind, seeing these people persevere through their troubles.
yeah,
It's great to see them do that, but at the same time, like I love that Paul Giamatti, you could tell what was important to him
yeah,
because they did have that nice house. They had nothing inside of it,
right.
and he still had what was important to him and his wife, and that's dope.
Yep.
That's all you need. I mean, you don't need to. I mean, if you want to be that, keep this perception of yourself out there, outward perception. Like, cool.
Yeah.
This is a really, really good movie.
I think, there's like the top three. Yeah, definitely to reiterate that is Cinderella Man, Apollo 13, A Beautiful Mind. But like I can watch Rush a lot.
I need to watch Rush. I'm gonna say I would have to switch out Apollo 13 with In the Heart of the Sea, just because of how I mean those movies are both very similar in how shocking they are in some way.
Yeah.
I think space is great. I can't wait for us to get there. I cannot wait. But like I know NASA and the more fundamental things here is more your ball field. And I can understand, and Tom Hanks too.
Yeah.
And all those other guys are great.
Yeah.
But like for me, I'd say it'd be Cinderella Man, Beautiful Mind, and In the Heart of the Sea.
Heart of the Sea is great. I can't watch that a lot.
No, that's funny. That's a very
I've only watched it once.
I love going back over and
Yeah.
over. I can go back on something so many times, but I think I've seen that movie maybe 2 times.
Right.
And I don't intend on watching it anytime soon, but it was just so jarring. So really impacting like that one.
Yeah.
Not so much the Dark Tower. I'm not going to let that go.
You won't let it go. Yeah, I mean,
Y'all be catching us on in 2050, and I'm going to be like, listen here.
everybody strikes out every now and then. You know what I mean?
Just don't pick Stephen King's pinnacle work to strike out on, please, next time.
True. So, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of like, we just want to do this episode on one of my favorite directors, and we'll be doing more of these with stuff Josh likes, authors.
I have read every full-length novel Stephen King has ever written, so we would love to talk about that.
There will be a Stephen King episode, no doubt. So if you guys have any favorite directors that you just absolutely love, or authors, or musicians, or anything
series,
like that. Series. Give us a shout. Let us know in the comments. Let us know something that we can talk about next time. And,
on Two Dudes Talking.
On Two Dudes Talking. But yeah, I mean, shout out Ron Howard. I love you, dude. Please don't stop making great movies. And
It's gonna be a sad day.
It's gonna be a sad day. So,
well, thanks for joining us here today on Old Two Dudes. And again, let us know what you took out of this, please. By all means, we want to know what you guys are about. We could do this all day, every day. So, stop down below on your way. Hit the subscribe button, share it, and we'll see you next time.
See you, bye.